Hello, everybody. My name is Ken Masson, and I am the president, or the co-president, I should say, of the Rotary Club of World Disability Advocacy. The Rotary Club for World Disability Advocacy has been around for we're in our fifth year at this moment, and we've been around. We have at this point more than 30 countries we're represented, and we have more than 70 members in the club. And our focus is on um, we advocate for the human rights for people with disabilities, and we also one of our big projects that we've been working on for a couple of years now is inclusive education. And I'm happy to have with us here today a person who has um, I think you're taking a good concept. You're taking a good concept, and you're. I think it's a good direction that you're going at. So I think it's important for people to hear what you're doing, and I'm hoping also that people with maybe see what you're doing, maybe talk to you, whatever, and model it. Let's see. Let's get into the conversation. Why don't you introduce yourself, please?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Koki Kilonzi. I am a Kenyan by birth, and currently I live and work in Tanzania, where I'm also married. Um, I have two children, two beautiful boys. One is 1 year old, and the other one is turning 4 this Saturday. And my main area of specialization is project management, and I'm the founder of Nimo Africa. Yeah, so that is basically what I do, and I have a big love for the African child, and that is it. Informs a lot more about what I do.
Super. And
Yeah.
we're here to talk about Nemo Africa. Why don't you tell us what that is?
Nimo Africa is a non-profit organization that was established in Tanzania, and we are allowed to operate in Tanzania mainland. And it's basically an organization with the aim to push for exclusive education. Our vision is to ensure that every child, no matter their background and learning differences or any barriers that they meet in the community, will have a chance to access quality education. And we started small. We started by operating in one area of Tanzania, that is the region of Arusha, and so that we could have model flagship programs that we could then take out to the rest of the country and eventually to the continent of Africa. So, in the region of Arusha in Tanzania, we are in two areas, two core areas that have high registered number of students that do not do well in class, but also that have a high potential to be able to be trained in life skills to start with. And we've taken on that to be able to give the students a chance as we deepen our roots in those areas and eventually expand. So basically, Nimo Africa has established projects and programs that are, rooted around those areas. Yeah, so basically, that's what we're about. I will expound more as we continue.
Okay, great. I'm interested in the name. Can you kind of explain what Nemo means?
Yeah, so Nimo is a Swahili word. It's not an abbreviation. I know it's short enough to be an abbreviation, but it is actually a Swahili word meaning I am, for place. Like I am amongst you, I'm among them. It's when I first of all was thinking about a name for the organization, because I had been operating this organization way before it was ever registered. It there was no name that was coming to mind that would speak, the vision and the mission that I had, and the couple of friends that I had talked to. And so being among the people doing the work, even though not nobody notices who does it, our motto is to just get in there, if even if it's two people, and do work, do get the work done. speak for the children, even if we are not in the news headlines, because that's basically what we've been doing for years. I have worked in Tanzania for 8 years. This is my ninth year now, and since I stepped foot in this country, I've had children under my care. Children that were not able to fit in the mainstream programs that we had where I worked before. And so the word Nemo really just represented my state, that I was among them the whole time. I'm working. We don't have to shout about it. We don't have to tell people about it, but I'm among them. But I'm also a Christian. I'm a believer, and so the part where we believe and fully understand that God is always with us is deeply rooted in everything that I do. So you are never alone. You are disabled, or you have a learning difference. You are physically disabled. You can't hear people or see people, but guess what? There is somebody there holding your hand. So Nemo basically stands for Nimo Africa. I am in Africa, for place, doing the work and representing the voiceless.
That's super. And a two-part question. And Nemo Africa has been around for how long?
So Nimo Africa I've been working for over 6 years now. I had students that I worked as an education director for a different organization since I moved to Tanzania in 2017. But while here and having that position made it very difficult to ignore or to not see the gap. I would The policy of the organization was different. It was, get the best student, give them a scholarship. They're already performing well, enable them to go to the next level. The only good thing I would say probably is that they are from poor backgrounds, and then they would go to a good school and would find them. But my heart was not settled. I still was able to meet students that deserved this scholarship but would not get it because they did not meet the requirement. So I would take a few of those students and put them under my mentorship program, and I would fundraise for them without having a registered organization as such. And the numbers grew and were overwhelming, so I had to register an organization in this country by the help of citizens here, so that I could be able to do this formally. So last year, in 2024, we started the process, but we got our certificate of registration last year in January. So yesterday, the 13th, actually makes it our 1 year anniversary. So we are 1 year old, but we've been working for 6 years now. Yeah.
Excellent. So, so your motivation to start this was that you saw a need, or is there another personal reason for doing it?
So I mentioned that I have been in Tanzania for 9 years now, but I am Kenyan. And before I left Kenya, I volunteered at the Kenyatta National Hospital, which is a big hospital in East Africa. It's a referral hospital, a government hospital, which means everybody goes there. They're referred to Kenyatta National Hospital. So I volunteered in the pediatric ward as an educator. Back in Kenya, I worked as a Christian educator. I was a project manager for another Christian organization. And I volunteered there for 2 years. And even after I moved to Tanzania, I would go back and still go to the class and try to help out. And during that time, I had the privilege to work with many children with disabilities. And I was using a model, a curriculum called the Teeny Tykes and Tunes program, which was music based. And I saw a lot of children, regaining hope and physically being healed through this program. Playing with them, singing with them, and a child that probably had trauma or an accident and was not able to speak for a long time. I witnessed a child go through the program and eventually start singing with us. And the doctors were like, oh, that doesn't just happen. And moving here, I continued to see the need. I continued to see many children in classrooms that are not even registered because they have special needs. Like you go to a government school with 150 students, kids in preschool, and none of them has a disability. But I know because I walk among the people, I see kids that have autism, I see kids that have Down syndrome, I see kids that are physically disabled, and I kept asking the question, why are these kids not in school? And then I would go to the school, and the teachers would be tell me, we don't have the resources. It's just one teacher for 150 kids in like one class. So if I get a child with special needs, eventually they just have to go back home because they don't fit. They don't have anyone to take care of them, and I have all these other kids to take care of. So there was this big gap. I was working with the best of the very best, the best of the best schools, but I kept going back to these primary schools, government schools, and asking the question. So I went as far as the ministry. I was referred to a school that takes these students that are not heavily dependent on a caretaker. But I still thought, no, there must be something else that we can do. We can start from a school and from there move to the community, because that's the goal of Nimo Africa. We are not at the school to stay. We are at the school because the community would trust a school to bring their child. They wouldn't bring a child just to my house, which is probably far away from, the community itself. But they will bring a child to the school. They will bring the child to a church where now Nemo programs can be applied to this child. And then we can move now the project to their homes. So basically, my work with children with disabilities started a long time ago. I have been a Sunday school teacher, so I have one-on-one experience with this. And I know it's as heavy as it is for the kids, it's also as heavy for the teachers, given that they don't have the training or the proper curriculum. So that's basically it. But also, I have a brother from a family of five. I'm the only girl and the last born. And the firstborn, my brother, who is right now he's 44, is disabled. He has a learning difference that we were not able to identify actually until when I opened Nemo last year and started asking questions. I started working with Dyslexia Tanzania and asking more questions. Like, what else is out? I just couldn't say, my brother has this and this because I have not been able to know. But he was not. He was put in the normal school system. Did standard 1 to standard 7. That is the primary school level for Kenyans back then. And he repeated the classes so many times that I caught up with him, and yet I'm the fifth born. And then he was taken to secondary school but could not go beyond the second level, which is Form 2. So he was taken out of school and has not been able to continue. But if there was somebody with a program with life skills that what we are doing, they would have helped him to come up, to develop a skill that would enable him to have, a living, to earn a living, to, feed his family, to be able to do all these things. So he's dependent on many people to date because that did not exist. So for me, I'm determined to create it for as many children as possible in the continent of Africa.
Excellent. So let's just for clarification. So you're a registered nonprofit in Tanzania,
Yes.
correct?
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
So then you are. See if I'm correct on this. You're
mm.
not a school, but you're a like a center. Is that what you are?
Yeah, so in this country, the registrations are divided into different categories. So if you're charitable, you register specifically as a charitable organization, which could be an NGO, non-governmental organization, or a community-based organization or faith-based organization, as long as you're not for profit. The part for profit also comes in because of sustainability, but Nimo Africa or many other organizations in the country, we are registered, we have an office. If you grow, you can have a whole area, an office with more than just the office structure. We have a center, like our goal is to have a training center, to have a big training space, to have model gardens for the community, to have workshops and things like those. So that is the center. But our registration does not limit us to a space. We take the resources to the people. So the NGO basically operates like a movement, except for the part where we train. Our goal is to advocate, to do advocacy, to do other. We want to have a model farm. We want to have a safe space where kids can come from the community, from the schools, from everywhere. Once we have established like we have our model running and a curriculum running across the country, we want people to be able to come there. So it's not a center. It's not like a church where you build a church and everybody comes to it at first. It's you go into the community, we talk to the people, we work with them, and then eventually when we grow, we have the training centers. And so people will be able to come to us, but our social workers, our community development workers will still continue to go out to be able to reach out to more people.
Okay, so what really interests me, and we'll get more into this discussion on it, is you're basically like a supplement for the regular school system. Is that correct?
Yes, for mostly the government schools, because that's where the need is, that's where the gap is. One thing I did not mention, Ken, is that uh, through my research in Tanzania, I started by working with secondary schools and universities, high schools. That's what the secondary schools here go from one level called the ordinary level, and then advanced level, then university. But I was not recruited to work with the primary schools. And so I started to see the gap between the students moving from the last year of primary school to the secondary schools. It was it was off. It was 50 students graduate, and then 10 only managed to go. The rest of them are failing exams. So that was that for me. Of course, not coming from this country, I was trying to understand that, and it took me a while, but then I came back to realize that it was the environment, and a lot of students have learning disabilities that have not been touched to date. I know of dyslexia, Tanzania, nobody else, and I am here working for 9 years. So that gap, that huge gap, where a student, I have many girls with me to date that stay with me. Some of them I've been able to take them for vocational training. They just couldn't pass that exam at standard 7, which is also offered in Swahili, and it's in the government schools. So because we cannot register a school that would take everybody in the country that has disabilities or that has learning differences or just needs somebody to listen to them, then it's better to go to the schools and start after school hubs that will now enable the kids in school, out of the classroom, or after school. And then, like I said before, go into the communities and find the kids that have been hidden from coming back to school, that have seen the barriers. If a child has a physical disability, the school doesn't have the infrastructure, we are coming to them, we are bringing the lessons to them, we are bringing the love to them, basically. So yeah, that is the end goal.
Okay. So the age group we're talking about is what of the students?
So in my operations, because again,
Yeah,
I wear many hats, but
yeah,
with Nimo
and
Africa, we try to also it's practical a bit for us to is in like right now we're just beginning. We are dealing with 4 to 14 year olds because
okay,
of it's a formative age, but also it falls within the school system that we are working with.
okay, good. And so this is basically activities that happen after school
Mhm.
or on the weekend, correct?
Yes, these are after school activities, and also during the holidays when now they are free from the school calendar. Now
Okay,
we have the freedom to call them for programs.
okay.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing with you being like a, I mean, I don't know if that's correct term for Nemo Africa to be a supplement. Is that correct term, or is there a better term than what I'm using?
I think I would say the Nemo clubs are the supplement because Nemo
Okay,
Africa is the big umbrella.
so you're either adding to or filling a gap that's not being filled by the public schools, correct?
Correct, correct, yeah.
Okay. So, and you and I had a chance to talk before this, but particularly with kids, children with disabilities, 90% do not go to school. 90%.
Hmm.
So by something, or maybe those 10% that are going to school are not
Hmm.
being properly um, educated because of the fact that it's there are so many kids that other kids are in that school in addition to the children with
Mhm.
disabilities. And sometimes it's the case too that the teachers are not properly trained to work with a student with disability. Um,
Mm.
no fault of their own. It's not available to them. So the reason I'm getting to is that I assume that what some of the activity you're doing, particularly with students with disabilities, are you have some expertise in the field, so you can help work with those students. Correct.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
The other thing
Mm.
is you also work with students who do not go to school. Those
Mhm.
the 90% that do not go. Are you offering services for those?
Yes, so, like I explained before, for us to be able to formally go to any community institution, a school, a hospital, anything. So, in the country, you have to at least have a registration. You have to have something to show for it. They have to ask you, did you go to the ministry? Did you get a letter? So, we got registered last year, January, and in order to establish our roots in the community, we went to the schools first. So we
Okay.
registered 4 schools. And the goal is through these schools, because I'll give you an example. Um, uh, we have a school, at least there's a name for it. So there's Nganana Primary School, and
Okay.
this school serves an entire village. And a
Okay.
village is administratively, so it's like an area probably say 20 miles radius.
Hmm.
So this school, you'd find every household has a child that is coming to this school, and this child has a brother who is disabled or a sister who is disabled, and they're being hidden at home, or
Hmm.
all the children in this household are disabled and are not coming to school at all.
Hmm.
So by us being in this school, after registration, we have now been able to go to the schools and establish our networks. Now we have brought programs that will be able to serve both the child in school and the child at home.
Hmm.
How did we do this? Last year, we did our first advocacy program. We called all the parents in the community we're working. Well, actually, we did a whole award, which is bigger than a village, so that we would cover more people. And we had over 1,500 people attending the advocacy forum on the Day of the African
Nice.
Child.
Nice.
That was a start to talk about the rights of the children. And this is every child. This is not just the child in school, because otherwise we would have just gone with the child at school. So yes, our programs are tailored to go to every child. That's why our mission says ensure that there's access to quality education for every child, not just the one that has already been brought in. So we are not there yet. We have not gotten we are not yet gotten to the level of going to the household, but that's a goal we have. That's a goal we have, to have as many social workers to be able to start going out. I have done
Okay.
this work before, and so I designed the model and it worked perfectly. The social
Okay.
worker and the community development workers will go out, bring the children that are at home into the center where now we can give these services.
Okay. So that's a good concept. I like the concept a lot. So let's talk about some of the services you provide. Tell me what Nemo clubs are.
Okay, so Nimo Clubs is a flagship program that after registering Nimo Africa, which is generally about promoting education. Like I told you, my innermost desire was to reach out to the child that is not reached. So Nimo Africa was established as a program for the students, run by the students. They would elect their own leaders, from chairman to the project manager to everybody that needs to be there to govern a normal club. So these Nemo clubs are established in institutions run by the students, operated by, funded by Nimo Africa, but also having other people coming to help to train, to do career guidance, to do garden, basically life skill training. So Nimo clubs were established to drive inclusive education in schools, having the students being the ones running it. Because as an organization, I've worked for many NGOs. Um, an NGO has different areas that it must tackle to have impact on the community. We we will train adults. We will go and do advocacy, awareness creation in the villages, in the communities, but still the child will still not be speaking for themselves. So Nimo clubs are created to be run by the students, and the students will choose what they want to do. In our case, our students have chosen to do gardening. They have school gardens, and they can run gardens in their homes. So what we are doing is teaching them how to do modern gardening techniques, how to be able to do drip irrigation by just using a jerry can, how to be able to farm vegetables that they can sell and then have some seed money to do something else. We are dealing with communities that have families that are very poor. Their kids, that their parents are not able to afford a lot of things. And so we teach them how to do financial management, how to be able to invest, to make money first. We give them some seed money. They will buy what they need. We all the time we are with them. We are helping, guiding them, advising them. But they choose everything they want. Then they will have their corporate garden where they will plant everything. Then eventually they sell the vegetables. Throughout the whole thing, we are teaching them life skills, communication skills, teamwork, everything. And we are targeting these students that it's for everyone. It's everyone comes to the club, but we're targeting that student that would normally not do anything. They will sit in class from morning to evening, go home. They'll be pushed through the classes to standard 7 and probably fail, mostly because they had probably a disability that nobody noticed. That is just one of them, gardening. We have debate clubs to help students gain confidence, learn English, because in Tanzania, amazingly, students learn in Swahili from preschool to the end of primary school. And then all of a sudden you're in secondary school and it's in English. So they come from very poor backgrounds. Nobody in the family speaks English. The teachers themselves are struggling to understand English, and then they go to secondary school and eventually fail because they cannot understand the language of instruction. And that's for every student. So imagine for a child with learning disabilities, they don't even make it through to Form 2. So we have the debate club to help them speak for themselves, stand up for somebody else, learn language development like skills, and many other things. We also bring other people to come and talk to them. So it's not just us. We are an umbrella that will bring different people to come and say, are you having a difficulty in this and this and this? This is what you could do to be able to perform better in school, to be able to perform better at home. And through our tree planting program, which is also a Nimo Club project, we allow them to take a tree home and take care of it until it grows. So we're teaching them to be responsible, to be able to take care of their own environment, because that's another problem. So Nimo clubs go to the students, and the students will give us a list of the things they want to do: projects, money making, or taking care of the environment. At least we've drawn the line between at least those two, so that we don't spread too wide. And there are reasons for every project. So we create curriculum to go with those. Same as Bible study for those that choose that direction, because again, there are reasons why we can't do it everywhere. Yeah, so Nimo clubs basically it's the part of the organization that drives inclusive education by giving the power back to the student, back to the child. And ultimately, honestly, in my brain, in my heart of hearts, I would want Nimo clubs to operate everywhere. At home, in churches, in the mosques, in the market, somebody is selling vegetables and wearing a Nimo Club t-shirt saying I'm a Nimo alumni. Like, I learned this from. So it's not just for schools. Schools is where we have started.
Okay, great. Sounds. I like the fact that you're doing life skills training because that's often
Mm-hmm.
um, not uh, um, not completely done or done at all in regular public schools. So life skills, which is so important. I mean, it's important. The other things that public school teaches, but to learn gardening, whether you use it for your own purposes or own family, or whether you use it for business,
Mm.
it's a difficult skill to learn. So God bless you for doing that. So tell me also about the advocacy groups. What are they about?
Okay, so in order for us to tell more people about what we're doing, especially because we're in the schools, but we want the parents to be involved so that the triangle is complete: the teacher, the child, and the parent, because we are the external person. We have purpose to do the Day of the African Child celebrations by advocating for children's rights, all the children. So last year is when we had our first celebration, and we did a big, big party for everyone. We went to one of the communities that we were working with, mapped up an entire ward. It was the first in the district for many years. And so we had the kids prepared to, walk around with placards talking about their rights, telling parents, I have a right to education, I have a right to live, I have a right to food, I have a right to. They wrote all sorts of things that they want their parents and Tanzania and Africa and the world to know. So we use that platform to talk to over 1,500 adults about education. The reception was amazing. That area has it's nomadic. There's the communities are nomadic, so there was a lot of school dropouts, kids keeping out on school days, not coming in, and so not doing well in classes. There's also a case of early marriages, female genital mutilation. It's those communities. So by having this one big advocacy program day, we were able to talk to the parents through the children themselves. They went out there, they held their placards, they talked to their parents. We had people come and talk to the parents. So basically, we are sensitizing the parents to bring their children to school, and also to bring in that area. We have a church that we work with. That the area is predominantly Christian, and so we had the churches involved, the government workers, everybody. So the church that we work with and other churches that are around there are driving our motion of inclusive education. And so hopefully, we haven't reached there yet because we just did that in June last year. Hopefully this year when we go back again to do this, we hope to see the kids that are not coming to school coming to us, the parents bringing these kids. We left, of course, we started the motion for the work to continue. So hopefully within a year we want to see some results. And then we'll continue and go on to the next community and the next community until everybody hears our call to bring their children to the churches, to the schools. The schools may not know what to do with them yet, but if they can come to our programs, we're happy. We will do the best we can. So we still have a lot of work to do. We still have a lot of resources to mobilize to be able to house these children. When we eventually have our center, it will be easy for them for it to be. We want to have a drop-in center, so children that are in unconducive environments, especially those that are disabled, because they are the ones that are the most threatened here, they'll be able to come for 3 months and learn a skill, and go back home. We'll be able to liaise with other organizations that we've been talking to, because one of my other strength is to talk to other people. My team and I, and my friends, we like to talk to other people. We don't want to duplicate resources or be burned out because we couldn't, do something. If we can have these people taking these kids that we are bringing to them, that for us is a win, because that child will get help, whether it's from Nimo Africa directly or from somebody we connected them to. So advocacy and networking here go hand in hand to help these children to be able to have somebody to help them. I'll talk about, for example, Dyslexia Tanzania. If I have a child that is tested to be dyslexic, I will not even attempt to do much. I would run directly to Cowdens and be like, hey, come, help. because I don't have the expertise or the energy probably to carry this child through the journey. But I know this one person. If I have a child that needs corrective surgery, I will not attempt to pay for it. It's very expensive. I'll run to somebody and say, hey, I have three children with this. Could you help? So basically, that's what we are about. It's everybody. We will mobilize them. So our advocacy is not just among ourselves and the community. It's also for the people that are out there with the resources, with even the space, the chance to help. We are coming to them and saying, hey, we have this, please help us. And then that child will be able to be helped.
That's
Yeah.
excellent. And being a club that promotes advocacy, um, doing that is so important because many people don't advocate, particularly when
Hmm.
things are wrong, and they be silent. And it's important, particularly on a child's level, to learn that they have a voice and they can use it and make a change for themselves. And what's oftentimes when you make a change for yourself, you make a change for other people too that are going through the same thing. So God bless you again for doing that. I like the fact you're doing sports. Tell us about the sports section in
Yeah, so sports is a personal favorite. You know, when you've done a project before and it was very successful, it's hard for you to not duplicate it. So I worked elsewhere before, and I was basically just I'm a project manager. So my job is I just think and dream of projects, and we try them out and they work. So the sports program has been a very successful program for us that we ran it. And so when we started Nimo Africa, it was impossible to not do it because everybody was asking for this. But the goal for this again is to keep the kids in school, to give them the discipline to work hard in school. Because if you're in the football team and you're not performing well, then you have a sit down with the teacher. You have to work hard so that you can remain in the team. But then also, we cannot ignore the fact that not everybody is good in class for many other reasons that we cannot even begin to explore them here, because this country we have a lot of limitations. So that child has purpose in school other than just, if you're not good at math, hey, you're good in football, we'll promote that. So it's also career development for us. So we go beyond doing the sports in their schools to sponsoring them outside of their area. The government has a program for sports. They do football, athletics, and netball. Football is for the boys, and athletics is for the girls. So every year they go from school to the next, to the ward level, to the district level, to the region level, then to the national level. The best keep going. So our goal is to have these students compete at the basic level. We fund that project and then help them to be able to beat the students in the region and go all the way to the nationals where we sponsor them. So if a child is athletic, I'm sure you must have heard about the athletics of Kenya. They run, they have all the gold, and they win a lot of money. They're number one, number two. There was one that won a gold the other day in Tanzania, and the kids were very motivated. If a child has dyslexia, for example, but they're good at the field, we are promoting that. So also that is also driving the agenda for inclusive education. But also it's fun. It's fun. We like to see children smile despite all the challenges we're going through at home. They come back to school for the finals, and you will not believe it's just everybody is laughing, everybody forgets, the teachers forget their problems, they're not paid well, but that day we are all playing. And our goal is to have sports program for the teachers too, because we like to encourage them so that they can take care of the kids, to be motivated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We in the club we are big on sports. I believe strongly in sports and we can name all the benefits that you have to do with sports, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important, particularly in a child's life. We
Mm-hmm.
have blind tennis, we have blind football, we have blind golf, and we have volleyball, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully someday we can get you to get a blind football team at your place. We got a
Yeah.
gentleman in Uganda who does that, so he can talk to you and get it going. So God bless you
Mm.
again. Three God bless you so far for you. But
Amen.
but doing this sports program, and
Mhm.
I there's one more that I want to touch upon, and that's before I
Mm,
do that, I need to give a plug for the club. You hold on a second, because we're down to our last 5 or 10 minutes. Um,
mhm.
and once again, with Rotary Club of World Disability Advocacy, I am the co-president of the club. And if you want to be a part of our global movement, yeah, we
Mhm.
welcome you to do that. And
Thank you.
if I hit the right
Mhm.
button here, I'm going to give you the email address. Wow, I
Mm.
did it. Okay, so there's the email address that you can write to the club. And
Okay.
anybody who's interested, please do write to us because we're interested in you. All right, so
Thank
there's one
you.
other thing that I want to touch upon here, and that's Girl Empowerment Group. What is that?
Mhm. So I think I'll answer this one quickly, but I think it's important for me to mention why such a small organization has so many projects. Even the government people themselves were telling us just pick one thing and just do it. But it's close to impossible when you see the gaps, you know. So the girl program is basically an empowerment program for the girls, but with an agenda. We are trying our best to keep the girls in school so that they don't miss out, because in the past, right now we are at least striking the balance. In the past, girls were failing a lot, but now they are coming up strong. In every club we have established, the girls are more active and everything, because they're learning to defend themselves, they're learning to be confident, and to fight for their rights and everything. So we have the program to train or to teach our girls on reproductive health and menstrual hygiene, because it's a big problem. NGOs call it period poverty. It's a real thing. It's one of the biggest enemies that we have, because it's silenced. In the African culture, um, it's very common to find a girl moving from getting into puberty and going all the way to university without having their parent talk to them about sexual or reproductive health or menstrual hygiene. And so we train our girls. We do it ourselves, because I have done this also in the country of Tanzania and in Kenya for many years. But we also bring in people that are experts on this, non-profits that are just entirely doing this program. That's our goal this year, especially so that they can train the boys as well, so that the girls are not stigmatized and don't feel confident enough to come to school when they're menstruating. So this program is meant to strengthen the girls, to make them be able to be in school every day. So it's a school program for now. We still haven't found a leeway to go into the community with it. But previously, I have targeted young women and young mothers, school dropouts, and people by using dispensaries and churches. But for now, we are targeting students in school and making sure they stay in school, and also they stay on top of things. They learn, they're ready. We equip them with kits, sanitary kits, everything that they need. We give them small packs, and they're able to use that and be able to stay in school. And again, I'll emphasize, a lot of the communities that we have decided to work with are with the kids come from poor backgrounds, so their parents are not able to afford them this, so they drop out of school for lack of this. Some will just drop out and get married, and others will have teenage pregnancies because no one is talking to them about it. So good thing, for the past 5 years, a lot of people have come up and are doing these programs, and so I can rest and just call a friend and be like, "Do you have extra kids? Would you like to come and talk to these students?" So it's a program that we must do. It's a necessity. Yeah, but also we're encouraging more girls to, take up sciences and stuff, technology and mathematics sciences. So yeah, that's what the girl program is all about.
Okay, so yeah, what you're doing there is actually a universal problem, or a universal need, put it that way. That
Mhm.
needs a lot, needs to be done in almost every country. So you also mentioned right at the beginning that your is religion is part of the base of your this organization, Nemo
Mhm.
Africa.
Yes.
Is religion part of that?
Yes. So again, the because by registration, NGOs are not faith-based there's a registration for faith-based organization. NGOs, you can proclaim your faith, but by registration, you're not known as that. So for me, it's very important for me to put it out there that I am a Christian. And so I will attempt to the best of my abilities to speak about Jesus Christ in what I do. I have done child evangelism for many years. Since I was a child, I was trained, and then now I do it. So I find ways in appropriate environments to do this because, again, my country here is almost half and half of two different faiths and or religions, as you would put it. So there are places where we have to go slowly, in getting this across, but there are places where we have established even Bible studies, which it's appropriate. But in everything that I do personally, I have two friends that I work very closely with. We have agreed to make sure that people would know that Nimo Africa is rooted, in the scriptures.
Okay, that's great. And so my final question for you
Hmm.
is, so you still a fairly young organization. Where do you see Nemo Africa going?
Okay, so we have personally, I have things that are immediate and things that are long term. As a young organization and as a professional, the first goal or vision is to make sure that in the areas that we are currently operating right now, we deepen our impact. I talked about the gardening project. Everybody is asking for us to come to them. Can my child join this? Can we do this? I've had people from Kenya talking about us doing something there. But in the meantime, we want to have a model that we can say, if you go to this place, you see what we are talking about. People need to visualize it. People need to have a mental image of what a Nemo club garden looks like. We want to have that two schools debate that is well established. They understand this. So deepening the impact in the area that we are working at right now is our immediate goal, so that we don't spread too thin and not have the time or the resources to reach every child. Because, like I said, and I mean this by every way possible, we want to reach every child. We are limited in many ways, but we will get. I'm sure. I trust in God that we will be able to drive our motion even to the homes, to everyone. And then long term, out of now these models that we have, we will spread everywhere else. We will spread to the country. We will have schools signing up Nemo clubs, saying we are going to establish a Nemo club in our school. We will have agents talking to them about them. We'll have people guiding them through them. For places that we do evangelism, we've started developing materials. I wouldn't speak much about this because for me, it's been a personal project for many years. I've developed a lot of Christian materials. And you see, with a curriculum that goes with that, it can go anywhere literally, even outside of Africa. So that is a long-term goal, is to go beyond to take now this. It's, I would say, the gospel of Nemo Club everywhere else, Nemo Africa. And then also we want to have a sustainable model so that the programs sustain themselves. The Nemo clubs will do that automatically because we want the kids to be able to sell their products, sell their tree seedlings. Today, I myself and my friend were visited this organization that is doing sustainable farming, and we grafted our own avocado trees. It was not very challenging, but it looked like. But then we eventually went home with one. And if we have our kids grafting their own mangoes and avocado trees, we hope people can come and buy a priced avocado tree for $20. It's not worth it, but like, and sustain the program. do the abled child, like we would say, can be able to buy things that the mother wouldn't buy for their disabled child at home. Sustainability. Everybody is speaking about it right now. For us, we want it to be a reality. In my head, I want the African Nimo Club child, everyone, to think I can do it, I can make it, I can make money, I can invest, I can help a child in India, I can help a child in Haiti. That is the goal for Nimo Africa.
That's outstanding. It's been a pleasure talking with you about this, and hear what you're doing. Somebody in Tanzania, or maybe in on the world, and want to know more about it, and maybe try to start something similar.
Mm.
I thought about this beforehand, and I didn't. Sorry. I would have your website. Maybe you can at least give it if you, or how can people get in touch with you? Maybe that's whichever way you want to
Okay.
do it. And I will add the website later on to the description.
Okay, so I realize that if I try to touch my screen, something keeps moving. But then if you
Yeah.
can probably type it, then that would be okay. So our website is www.nimoafrica.or.tz.
Okay.
So www.nimoafrica.or.tz, and we are
Okay.
available on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, as Nimo Africa.
Okay.
So,
Great.
and on the website, there's a local number, but which is very efficient on WhatsApp, which is global in, well, in
Hmm.
many places. So you can, anyone would can message us through Messenger or on Instagram, direct messages, and we will be able to respond. And we are we are open for everybody's ideas, and everybody. If you're ever in Tanzania or in Arusha, we are open to have a coffee, a cup of coffee, the best coffee there is, because a lot of us at Nimo Africa are all about coffee. We even post about it. Yeah. So we are
Uh,
available online and physically. And if we're ever in
it,
your country, tag us, or we
oh
will tell
yeah.
you and then tell us you're in this country, and we are available to talk to any child about anything. We are experts in
Good.
children development, psychology, and theology.
It's a beautiful website. You had somebody who really knew what they were doing when they built that website.
Mhm.
But I was very impressed with it. So very good. Thank you so
Mhm.
much. This has been a pleasure talking with you, and I look forward to watching your development, and also
Mhm.
to maybe the club can do more work with you on this kind of level. So I look
Mhm.
forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I am very happy to have been here. And thank you. This was a good opportunity. And God bless
Take
you so much.
Yep.
Mhm.
Take care.
Okay.